Recently I noticed a bunch of piles of dirt popping up in my grass. Subterranean pests have moved in, are digging tunnels in my yard and doing a ton of damage. So I thought I'd start a new video series reviewing different traps for catching these unwanted animals. That way we know which traps work best and how to use them. Now in my case, these unwanted animals are moles, pocket gophers, and voles. And this is the first video in this series where I'm going to show you how to identify which pests you have, both by the physical characteristics and the types of dirt they leave behind. That way you know which traps to use and how to catch them. Now these animals will vary greatly in size depending on what region you're from and what species you have. This is the mole. They're pretty big in my area. They have soft fur. Their eyes are tiny. You almost can't see them. Same with the ears. Because they live underground in the dark, they don't need them, and that way it keeps the dirt out of their eyes and ears. And they have this nose in front. This is for smelling their prey. Moles are carnivores. They're eating worms, grubs. They're digging for invertebrates to feast on. Now if you turn them over, you'll notice these moles have really big paws with these claws for digging. These can do a ton of digging. You'll notice these mounds popping up everywhere once they move in. Now what's interesting is the teeth. The teeth on these are sharp for catching their prey. They're not rodents like the gophers, voles, squirrels. These are insectivores, so these are similar to shrews, and these can do a ton of damage, so I'll show you how to catch these. This is a pocket gopher. These are pretty big as well. They're called pocket gophers because along their mouth here they have two big pockets, almost like a kangaroo. Two of these big incisors on top and bottom indicate that they're rodents. They have claws for digging, and these are great at digging extensive tunnels. They'll make a main run with side runs, and these can do a ton of damage as well. So it's good to know how to catch the pocket gophers. The third one is a vole with a V, not a mole, a vole. They're not related because this is also a rodent. These don't leave these big piles, but they can still do a lot of digging and damage. So I'll show you how to identify voles as well and how to catch them. So first we'll go start looking at the dirt piles, and we'll start with the gopher. Here's a big pile of dirt out in the field, and looking at this I instantly know we have a problem with gophers. The way I know that is the shape of this mound. What we have is a low spot here. This is the hole where the animal dug the dirt out of their tunnels, and then we have a high crescent-shaped or semicircle ridge. There's no dirt on this side of the hole. Now gophers, when they dig their mounds, they come up at an angle here, and then they just kick or fling the dirt out. Now they don't throw it on this side because to do that they'd actually have to come out of the ground and expose themselves to predators. So if you see any dirt mound that has a hole and then a semicircle or crescent shape, you know it's a gopher here, just like this guy. You'll also notice that these are bigger chunks. In my area, gophers tend to do bigger chunks. The moles have really fine dirt, almost like sand, and that's going to be a perfect cinder cone, almost like a little volcano. So crescent-shaped dirt, gopher. Now that you know what a gopher mound looks like, here's a really good example of a molehill. It's a round, dome-shaped pile of dirt. The dirt's pretty fine, and the highest spot's in the center here. That's where the hole is, where the mole pushed the dirt out of its tunnel, and it pushed it in all directions. These can pop up pretty quickly once a mole moves into your yard. They have these huge claws for digging, and they dig an extensive network of tunnels looking for worms, grubs, and other food. So if you see a bunch of dirt pop up in your yard that's round, dome shape, almost like a little volcano, you have a problem with moles. Here's the third kind of damage that I'm seeing in my yard. It's a hole about as big as a quarter, and it has runs going to it. One going this way, one going this way, one going this way. There's a huge network of pathways and holes, and these remain open. That means the animals are living below ground, but coming above ground to feed and go through these pathways. They like to eat grass and other plants, can do a ton of damage. These, of course, are being caused by voles. This is a really big vole. Predators like owls love to eat these, but the populations can get huge. So I'm going to be trapping voles as well. They don't leave a mound like the gophers or the moles. If you see holes everywhere, you may have a problem with voles. Hopefully after watching this video, you'll be able to identify if you have gophers, moles, or voles in your yard. Now stay tuned because I'm going to be testing out as many traps available in the market as I can get a hold of. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to see how to catch all these pests.